Is we live? Is we live? Is we live? Is we live? Yes, yes, you're now tuned in to the Rare Podcast Quarantine Edition. Of
Lockdown,
course,
baby.
Lockdown Edition.
Why
Of
is Shona
course.
dying?
Wait,
Wait,
What are you doing?
I was just smiling.
This cousin.
He's like,
Oh, Lord.
I'm so dead.
Yes. Of course, I am your host of the most NK, aka NK Flows, aka the man of the hour, T Sweet to be sour. And of course, I'm always joined by my lovely co-host. Let's start with the man them today. What the man them saying?
Oh, down. Oh, T. Yes.
I'm Jixon.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we got the lovely madams in the building.
Look at that. Look at them looking straight.
The lovely madams. Melanin. You get me? Beauties.
She was really trying to introduce us. We got all just talking. Reals, rude. Go ahead, do it again.
Ashley.
What,
Hi guys, I'm Shona.
Hi guys, I'm Ashley.
So let's not even waste time with the format. Let's just get into it. For those of you who don't know, well, at the time of this recording, it was yesterday, but by the time you don't see it, probably would have been a couple of days ago. You know, there was a big exposing on Twitter. Basically, a lot of influencers, a lot of public figures were outed for racist, colorist, and overall just foul tweets in the past. Some of these people, public figures, included Tion Wayne, Nella Rose, Chunks, Young Philly, Aaliyah Maria B, Paigey Keiki, and many more.
Only
What'd you
Bells.
say?
So
Yeah.
There's Only Bells. There's a lot of people. And the thing is, it wasn't even just influencers. I was just seeing like people who like commented on it.
In general.
You know when they were like, this you. I was like,
That was
live corn.
everyone was catching it. Nobody was saying.
See, this is why probably that my account got suspended.
Even Loz, because Loz was talking about Somali people eating banana and rice.
Yeah.
It's mad how Somalis are getting cast and no one is saying anything, is it? No one is saying back to Somalis, but
yeah. No.
There was people drawing out people for saying Somali stuff.
Who's drawing them out?
On that side of Twitter. Because they were saying that we need to talk about how a lot of Somali people got cussed back in the day.
Somalis were getting it just as much as dark-skinned people were getting it. Somalis were treated like a different species, fam. I remember, fam. I think I claimed to be Somali back in the day. Fam, so I agree with what Nello was saying, man. Nello was making sense, man. I agreed with it.
No, 100%. Listen, this whole... Well, first of all, do you think it's even appropriate for people... Like, okay, my whole thing is when you go back and dig up people's old tweets, what are you exactly trying to achieve?
It's jobless.
When they apologize is an issue.
Jobless.
Bro, what's the end goal? What's the end goal?
What is the end goal? Because my thing is, when I looked at the date of these things, I saw 2013, I said, oh, like, and the thing is, we know, let me not say we know, but the image that these people portray today is clearly not in line with the image that they were portraying in 2013. So my issue is, why is it even being brought up in the first place? Like, my issue is, this shouldn't have even been a thing.
This only started because of that one baker who got called out for his racist tweets back in the day. I mean, like his anti-black tweets back in the day. And then after that whole Beyonce versus Mariah Carey clash thing, everybody just started bringing out every other tweets. So I just feel like everybody just went on like, what do you call it? Let's just try and see if our faves were ever chatting bad.
No, that was a mad man.
I've Warren Dole, then all got called out. Tion Wayne, Young Az nearly, but then he ran.
Young Az, my goat.
Oh, Lord. But again,
see.
Like Shona and Ashley, like, as obviously a lot of the tweets that were revealed were quite colorist and were very anti-black women, specifically anti-dark-skinned women. As black women, like, how did you feel when all of this was transpiring?
What, back in the day or now?
No, now, like, in fact, now answer it now, and then how you felt back in the day as well.
Do you know what? I was thinking like the other day because like I was on like a Twitter thread with like some of my secondary school people because like secondary school I went to was a all girls school and like 85% of us were black. So like I never really got the whole being cussed for being black thing or like black girls the dark skin. We never in secondary school we never really got that because like everybody was black. So it was kind of different for us. But like rereading it now. I don't know. I can say me. I wasn't personally offended by anything. Well, obviously, I'm not necessarily dark skin. I'm black. But I'm dark skin. So like, but even if I was dark skin, I feel like it just wouldn't. Now I'm at a place where nothing really affects me like that. But it's just wild to see like some of these people who are like black people this, black people that, da 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 da. But back in the day, it was a different story. But yeah, especially the Roger Meters one. It was funny because he was the one crying on YouTube saying that he needs money for his student finance, and it was black people.
Oh my days!
Mainly black girls who helped him, and then now he's saying that. Well, back in the day, he was saying that how he didn't want to date a dark skinned girl, and even his name is Toasted Lighty on Twitter. I was like, even when I saw that name from time ago, I was like, that's a bit weird. Are you okay?
At what point did being light skinned become in fashion? When was that?
Okay.
That's always been a thing, though.
It's always been a thing.
Because more time racism is colorism is internalized racism. So it just comes from the idea that being light or white, close to whiteness, is best. So
even half caste meaning pure, innit? You're half pure, you're half white.
So yeah, I say
But what about you two though, NK and Jason? What about you two as dark skinned men who have dark skinned like parents and mums? How do you not feel about this?
You know what? Like, in fact, let Jason go first.
Oh well, I felt like back in the day, like growing up in going to an old boys school, like we were always like everybody would make jokes of your skin color and all that stuff. So we just felt like okay, cool.
Lip monkey, all of them things there.
Or like when the lights turned off, where's this person? Where's that person? Always the darkest person getting cast. So it wasn't really hard for me, but it did that sometimes. It made me want to be.
I mean, this deep. Sorry, white people aren't glow in the dark. You can't see anybody when you turn the lights off.
I lie. So I'm saying
they're not glow in the dark.
Yeah, because back then I did want to be light skinned at some point. So when I found out that somebody said to me, "Oh, Vaseline makes you darker," I stopped using Vaseline on my body, and I just changed to a different cream. So I just didn't want to be dark skinned. Even the self-hatred for like being African as well. That's why from young I always used to want to be like Jamaican.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of people saying that they didn't want to be African.
Right, it wasn't cool to be African back then. Let's not lie, fam.
What was the image and perception that anyone and everyone had of Africa? Poverty. That's it. Poverty, flies on your face, and this and that.
You're a freshie. You're from
in a village, like, and this is not the reality. But that's all everyone knew.
See, that's what Nella was even saying in her video, that she it just wasn't cool to be African. That's why she.
So
I can agree to that.
So what I want to touch on, my thing is, let me preface this. I don't have an issue with Nella's apology. I don't. Nella's apology is fine. My issue, what I was alluding to in the group, my issue is that it took all of this for us to have conversations about self-hatred, have conversations about the culture, have conversations about this. Because when I've tried to have the conversation of, okay, back in the day, things were different. Back in the day, a lot of the language used towards dark-skinned men, or specifically dark-skinned women at the time, was negative. I'm trying to find out why the language was like that. And a lot of people would dismiss the argument and say, boom, like, you lot were just being colorist, end of story. And that is a part of the argument. But another part of the question is the culture at the time not only condoned this behavior, but promoted it. Because it wasn't just Nella tweeting stuff like this. It was a lot of people, everybody at the time. So the conversation I've always wanted to have is about the culture at large. But a lot of the time, and let me preface this by saying this, of course, I'm well aware that a lot of dark-skinned men contributed to the spreading of colorism. I'm not going to be ignorant and say we didn't. However, I feel like the conversation is more nuanced than just dark-skinned men did rare tear or dark. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it was a conversation about the entire culture as a whole, because I feel self-hatred was rampant at the time. And there was a video somebody posted the other day that articulated this perfectly. Remember the Westfield videos?
Yeah.
Oh
Remember the
my
Westfield videos?
days, yes,
You
yes.
ask
Light
every,
skin girls
you
or dark
ask,
skin girls. I hate dark skin girls because light skin girls.
Light with highlights in
but
the hair. All
but
that
but but
nonsense.
but
There was
but,
no
but then
there was no originality in them answers as well. It was all the
Literally,
same.
all
All these
asking
that's
ways.
what I'm saying.
Little 16-year-olds the same questions, like.
And the thing is, yeah, these will be new. These will be young. They'll be like some of them will be like 14, 12, 13. And the thing is, some of these used to be, I want a light-skinned girl with a big back and big breast. I'm sorry. At 12 years old, what girl has big back and big breast?
This is what I was trying to say.
At 12 years old. So for my thing is, the issue is, yeah, it's that this is something that's been embedded in them from young. This is learned behavior. Do you know what I mean? I don't think, because a lot of the... That's what I want to get to, because because the conversation on Twitter is that a lot of these people were colorist. I don't think they were colorist. I think they were more so ignorant. And again, another topic that was on the TL around the same time was, why don't black people like KSI and so on and so forth? And some people say because he makes coonish content. But if we look at the climate at the time of YouTube and social media, we know he wasn't the only one making that type of content. That content,
He
even
still says that kind of stuff though.
Yeah. True. To this day, he still says that kind of stuff. But I'm just talking about the climate of the time. Fam, even A Online has come out and said, I can't, like, the videos I used to make in the past were mad. Like, I used to cuss out black women, and like there was something about that climate that not only made this language acceptable, but people got retweets and clout because of it. And that's what I want to focus on. Like, what do you think? What do you think enabled people to be so openly colorist and so openly
on Twitter, or just in general?
In general, I think it was the time. It was the climate at the time. Like, everyone was spouting nonsense like that. Everyone was saying, I want to like pretty. In fact, Miss Brat made a song entitled "Pretty Little Lighty," and the lyrics are "Pretty Little Lighty, but I can get dark."
But I
can get dark. Needed, like, do you know what I mean?
Not
the lyrical, the lyrical content at the time was a madness. What do you think contributed
This is a bigger issue than just the tweets that we saw, just how people used to behave. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
For example, like the beauty standards, there's no way you're gonna see a dark skinned person. So immediately, if a dark skinned person is not there, then they must be ugly. No, it's a mad thing. Like, it's the way that we've been fucked up subconsciously, and it's just a mad
Even
thing.
a lot of music videos that we watched as well always had a light skin.
Oh my days, the video vixens, fact.
Yeah. They never really went for a dark skinned girl.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I love my God.
Yeah, like all the time when you watch shows or like movies, there's always like a dark skinned girl portrayed as the same way, loud, rude, aggressive, or the one that's
she's the friend.
Yeah, or the friend.
Or the one that gets chosen, she's the friend.
But the light skinned girl was the one that, I want the light skin. Oh, she's successful. She's this, she's that. And I'm just like, well, they actually both just look big. And like, but then everybody started thinking like that.
Like, it'll be like, I love everybody. I love my African kids. Yeah, that family. When you deeper, that family makes no sense. Junior and Michael, are black. Yeah, cool. Katie is mixed race as hell.
Is she mixed race in real life?
Yeah, she's mixed race.
Oh.
I think it doesn't make sense though. Only because, like, when black people have black kids, they come out any color. It doesn't matter if you're black and black. You come out.
Nah, but this girl came out mixed race.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's some black parents that have mixed race looking kids. Like, you're both dark, but you get like things that like that. I don't agree with, because
no, Shona's got a point still.
Fair enough.
But I'm saying in hella movies though, they would make and just movies, TV shows, whatever, they'd make the daughter light. There's like so many times. It's been the daughter with light skin and the son will be dark skin, like all the time.
True. Even what do you call it? Zendaya's old show, Casey Undercover. She was a mixed race girl with a dark skin
and then the dad was dark and the thing was dark. And then in that movie with the girl, what's the movie? Yeah, I love how you know what movie I'm talking about. The girl light skin, and she makes sure it's in real life. She was light
All
skin,
makes
and the
sense.
rest of the family was just dark.
There's a lot of dark actresses out there, but they always get the light skins to play
Because,
them.
like
Have
I
parents
said,
that are brown and dark.
like I said before, guys, being black is becoming a trend. This is why everyone is now want to flaunt their black self because it's a fitting trend. Before, back in the day, it was never a trend. It was a trend to be light skinned. It was a trend to be, because light skin, it's typically known that light skin people can't have curly hair. No one wants to deal with a black girl who has thicker, coarse hair. So obviously, people want to have light skin babies, and not even just the hair texture. It's the skin complexion. Like things match their, like it's easier for you to match different stuff with your skin tone just because you're light. Do you know what I mean? Even though more time now I've seen it's not the case because some light skin people can't wear certain colors. Same way some black skin people can't wear certain colors. Like, but back in the day, like obviously, like first of obviously rooted back to slavery. This is all from slavery. It's only now that we are, progressing, showing our blackness and embracing our black culture. I don't know who started it, whoever like just put their foot down and said, fuck this, like I'm black and I'm beautiful, then rate you in it. Because what's that other thing? That tagline that's going around for time.
Well,
like
Black Girl Magic.
Like, yeah, that's it. All that shit that I was doing, it was this. Then
But you look how deep it used to be, because even in terms of makeup, I swear there wasn't makeup, there wasn't shades for like dark skinned girls, and even cameras. The way cameras were set up before, like it wouldn't bring out the color in dark skinned people. Like it was just everywhere.
You just have that PLT girl, well not PLT girl, but she's a model, and she's on Pretty Little Thing, and her Instagram picture and that Pretty Little Thing picture was not the same. That's based off the makeup that they gave her and the camera guy. No one ever saw that. It was a big change.
Was she
British?
Huh?
Was she British?
Yeah, I think she's British. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I saw it on Twitter.
And she got dragged for being a catfish.
Oh yeah.
But it was based off.
It's not always their fault. Sometimes it's the makeup that the companies will give you.
Because even like being like, yeah, she dark skin.
Oh yeah, Sandra Black, something like that.
Yeah, normally her blonde maybe look nice, but in that picture.
Yeah, that was a bit nice.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
She's foreign, isn't it?
Do you think a lot of the people that got outed on social media, right? A lot of the people that came to defend them said used the argument of age. Now even Ella Rose in her video, she said that age isn't an excuse. While I do agree that age isn't an excuse, it's a contributing factor, because when you're young and impressionable, right, you don't you're just gonna gravitate to what pop culture tells you. And if pop culture is constantly feeding to you that light-skinned women are the best and that dark-skinned women shouldn't be considered, you're gonna naturally gravitate towards that. Of course, you're old enough to formulate your own thoughts, but then at that age as well, you are incredibly influenced by society. You are incredibly impressionable. So I feel like age is something to consider when it comes to things like this. That's why when a lot of these, my first reaction when I saw a lot of these tweets, I honestly was like, oh wow, that's bad. But again, and maybe I come from a position of privilege.
7-8 years ago.
Yeah, maybe I come from a position of semi-privilege because I'm not a dark-skinned woman. I'm a dark-skinned man. And I know, even though I am dark-skinned and I do go through certain things, it's not to the same degree as a dark-skinned woman, because let's be honest, especially in recent memory, dark-skinned men have been fetishized by the entirety of the world, fam. You know what I mean? Like, the dynamic is different. So I acknowledge that.
When though? When? Because like you said, in school, people getting called blick, people getting called monkey, people getting called gorilla.
I'd say I started to notice it more when I was in the year 10 or year 11. I started to notice that
girls
the outside world. Yeah, like girls from multiple different races liked black men. Like, they were open about it. Like, that's what I started to notice. I was like, oh.
I noticed it at uni. Where I can tell that a lot of different races of girls fetishize black men, 100%.
No,
it's funny actually. It's
why
not
though?
funny.
That's the question. Why though?
I don't know. I feel like because black women we love black men, so they want to love black men too.
They're trying to be black women.
I don't know.
Do you know what? But the whole liking of black men stuff has happened since like early. Like I think it's been. I remember watching somebody posted on Twitter like months ago where it was like an old like 90s TV program. And then the white women there were talking about, like we just love black skin. We just, there's just something about the way black men like conduct themselves. We just like black skin on white skin is. I'm gonna find it. Said it like she was just basically talking about black skin. And I feel like
how long
even
was
some.
I remember that video.
That was like probably 90s. That was probably in the 90s. I'd say late 80s, earliest, but definitely 90s.
Straight up fetish though. That's what it was, isn't it?
And I feel like, do you know what? I feel like back to like the 2013 era, the BlackBerry era, as I like to call it. I felt like it's good. Okay, I felt like the whole liking light-skinned girls thing was just I think it was a fetish. It was borderline effect because if you were to ask some of the man them, right, when they were young, why do you like light-skinned girls? They'll name features that aren't just exclusive to light-skinned girls. They'll be like, I want to go with nice body, nice back, but you can get that in a dark-skinned girl. Like, why is it specifically?
I think it was the hair.
A lot of them.
Yeah, I was thinking as well. It's definitely the hair. Like, that's what I heard more time. It was never. You can get a bum breast from anyone. I can't lie. But it was the hair.
Yeah.
When they made them videos, I remember those like a few guys kept on saying, I want a girl with like a big bum but she has to be light skinned. Then somebody said, dark skinned girl. They're like, nah, like a body of a dark skin but on a light skin or a white girl. Like a lot of videos, guys said that.
Outrageous.
Stratford.
Like man, them were saying Latinos when we live in London. Do you know how much we don't have Latinos here like that? This is not New York. This is not New York. When we don't have Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and all that, we don't have that here. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of the time when we this is why I personally don't. When I see these tweets of man them, obviously again, I'm not a dark woman, so I'm not gonna take offense to it like some dark women will. But when I look at these tweets, I'm thinking this is more ignorant than colorist to me. Because like a lot of this a lot of the stuff the madam are spew out is coming from a place of ignorance. They don't know anything.
But you know
not to say that I condone the behavior. I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm just saying that these man them were ignorant.
I'm saying, do you know what it is? I feel like it's different when people were like 12, 13 and they were impressionable and they had silly views. Okay, calm. You changed, you apologize. All right, what can I do? Come kill you because you used to think a certain way and you changed. No. But more time, I feel like there's a lot of people out here, especially black men.
No, go
Ash.
Wait, let me finish what I'm saying. Who are of a certain age, who have been saying some wild things, and nothing's happened.
See, that's what I was getting annoyed at. Because a lot of them were in their early 20s and mid-20s and they were saying all that stuff, but Nella's one.
Like Nella Rose and some of those people, they were like 14, 13, whatever. Okay, you said some wild things. All right. Okay. It's not the end of the world. But some of these grown people talk about rape and stuff like...
No. You see that one? Wild. That one at any age, the rape one at any age is not acceptable. At any age, yeah. No, that is not acceptable.
Any complexion, anyone. Rape jokes shouldn't look for anyone.
Something like if you rape a dark-skinned girl, it comes to animal abuse. I was like...
Nah, cuz.
Wait,
loud that.
Bro, someone said, what is it called when you rape a dark-skinned girl? Animal cruelty.
Animal abuse. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said it.
Yeah.
There was one girl that tweeted something about the whole Nella Rose and again an exposed thing. She said a man came on Twitter and said if you rape a black woman, it's not rape, it's animal abuse. Oh, that's the one. Yeah, Nella Rose, people want to wage war against. You're taking all your energy out on her because, as we've seen it, always easier to destroy and disrespect black women on here, not men. Went from drawing out black men to now everybody's attention going on Nella because Nella was number one trending.
Yeah.
A few of them tweets were even that bad Because the one that she said on, what do you call it? When
Just talking about black girls wearing blush, like,
Yeah,
okay,
she-
like,
people
rude,
get-
but
But
Can we actually
And
deep
it's-
like what we all think anyway? I can't lie, like I'm sure none of us had them black rowdy girls in our school, and predominantly they were black, were they not? Like, was she lying? I didn't say cool. She was in secondary school. She was definitely chatting shit. More times she had the age of 13. Why was she on Twitter in the first place? Personally, because I wasn't allowed on Twitter. I didn't have Twitter until last year. You shouldn't get Twitter. This is why you don't have Twitter. This is why your parents tell you not to have Twitter, because you're too fast. You're too damn fast. This is the issue, that this shit was gonna come up anyway. Like, and also I don't understand is why people don't realize the internet lasts forever. Like, you can do your tweet speed, but there was screenshots going around. Do you know what I'm saying? Personally,
but
I don't think it was that deep. I actually don't think the tweets were not that deep.
But
Because
I thought
I remember witnessing all of this dumbness. It was more dumbness than just colorism
that's
on
what
Twitter.
I'm
I
saying.
remember
Like, stupid. Like, get over it. Like, move on. Is it we're stuck in our house and you want to put this girl down while she's locked in her yard? Are you not
like
stupid?
more time, you see that she's changed. You know that she loves black girls and she supports black people. So you really can see she's changed.
Why are you going to keep knocking her down?
Because a lot of people are trying to say how they're gonna, what do you call it? I can't support anymore because this just changed my perspective on her. All them tweets are mad, but them tweets were back in the day, and you know how much she rides for black women now and black people. I don't understand.
So it's like,
That don't make
change
sense.
can happen at any moment. Like, you could wake up, think something. By the end of the day, you don't even agree with what you thought. Like, you could change even in a day. Like,
how can you come and kill me for something I don't believe that anymore? So how can you come and kill me?
Exactly.
But this is Twitter.
A lot of them are
This-
undercover here, though.
No, it's not even about haters.
It is a place for hypocrites, because I'm sure the same people, just because you didn't tweet it, didn't mean you didn't state it. I know so many people that have made Somali jokes and made Ghanaians are all black jokes. I've heard so many of it. So you don't want to keep getting at her. Just remember what you might have said back in the day. Don't at anybody. At the end of the day, only God can judge. So you don't need to shut up. You don't have no right. I can't. No one has the right to be chatting shit.
Okay.
hey, I saw a tweet, and this is the realest tweet, and it just sums up what we just saw. This is what someone said. The thing with Twitter is you lot don't like to read, and when you do read, you lot don't like to comprehend, and even when you do comprehend, you lot like to lie. Fam, everyone just comes with agendas on Twitter. No one's looking for facts. Everyone sticks with it.
No. This is what I want to touch on. For me, yeah, I don't even to sound like some Nostradamus, I see everything, yeah. But I knew that Twitter was gonna do this from day because I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen to less. I've seen this. Nella is the straw that broke the camel's back, yeah. But I've seen this happen to lesser people. I've seen people make mistakes on Twitter and be crucified for the mistakes they've made, despite countless apologies that they've done, and despite changed behavior. Here's the thing about Twitter, right? Twitter doesn't care if you've changed. Twitter doesn't care about the person you are today. Then, if the narrative is juicy, if the narrative is entertaining, it will run. It will run. It's much easier to hate on someone than it is to promote them.
100.
And this isn't specific to Nella.
The TO and Black Twitter came together just to hate on everyone, just to dig up dirt. It's mad.
I'm saying more time. It's not cancelling thing. More time in 2 weeks. You're gonna forget about it because everybody was shouting to cancel Maya Jama.
But then her audience is more white.
Making more peace than she ever did. So
even the free shots of the guy, everybody's still listening to them because nobody has that energy for them. The same energy. The free shots.
Mr. Exposed.
Yeah, everybody feels listening to them.
They're still listening to him. Well, everybody has that energy towards her because she has a bigger platform, and what they're saying that Black Twitter made her. Okay, but this is not stuff that she said during the time she was blowing up on the in this whole social media time. This is when she was younger, and she's apologizing. And the thing, apology.
Come and kill her. Like, just rest.
Twitter don't care about apology.
Management needs to get. I'm so sorry, but from time you saw your girl was going in your spotlight, and now you're her manager. You better go through all them tweets because year after year, I don't have Twitter, but I hear there's a story all the flipping time. You hear someone getting dragged out for their past tweets. I don't understand. Like, why don't you not go search shit that they said in the past? I don't understand. Ain't that your job?
But they even say, like, before you get a job, make sure you delete all your reckless tweets because your boss will find it. So I don't know why when you're coming to the spotlight,
anyone can find it.
That don't make sense to me.
I want to touch on a point though. Do you know how you lot were saying like, oh, black? Actually, it was you that said it. Like, black men were cussing black women. Like, they were like at the top of the list. It was against the grain to go and like a black woman back before. Like, if like in the videos where they were screaming, oh, lighty. Like, if someone said I like a black woman, it's
Dudes
against the
get
grain.
laughed at.
Like Somalis, it's against the grain. That's why everyone just ran with it, because I felt like no one really wanted to go against the grain.
Yeah.
Like Riley,
Mate, great
girl,
point.
like,
T.
girl in the wave.
No,
Swear.
listen,
From that, when
yeah.
they said that,
An approval of your friends was more important than actually having your own opinion.
No, because back then, especially when you're a teen, yeah, especially when you're again, this isn't I'm just again preface. I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm just simply providing context of the time and why man them was so quick to say these things. It's not right that they said it, but anyway, the reason why what Tia said is spot on, because I remember conversations back in the day, yeah, where my dad would just say, I want a light skin thing. I want a lighty. And then one of the man then would be like, oh, no, like, I like my dark skin. You like dark skin things? And that was the culture back then. It was.
But you know, it wasn't just that. It was how they perceived black girls, because we weren't just girls with, thicker hair. We had attitude. We was rude. But light-skinned girls had sexy attitude. They had that kind of attitude that was like saucy outside.
Prestige.
What's that word? Exotic. Yeah, we weren't exotic to these people. I'm exotic. Fuck you lot, yeah. But they used to think that girls were exotic. Those are shit.
You lot are island girls. You lot are island girls. You lot are exotic. Come on.
Yeah, but people will say black girls are exotic because their hair, their hair will flow, and all that shit. And like, they had like a saucy attitude.
Take it down, do whatever. Mickey,
aggressive. We were just aggressive black bitches. And you know what? That's still how we're seen today, even at work. So, society is slowly changing, but it's not changed. It will take a very, 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 very long time for the people to normalize black culture. It's not even normalized now. It's now a trend. I don't care what anyone says. It's a flipping trend.
Okay, let me ask you lot this. Let me ask you lot this, yeah. Do you lot, okay, like you said it's a trend now. So do you lot buy it? Do you lot buy basically, let me word it correctly. Basically, you know how there's a trend of black girl magic and all of this, all of that. Are you not buying into the hype? Are you not believing that things have changed? Or do you not think that this is just a trend and in 5 years' time people are gonna go back to saying light skinned girls are this? Or do you think there's genuine progress being made?
I don't think they'll go back to it. There's progress, but
I don't think they'll go back to light skins.
Because from time when someone like Beyonce is bigging up melanin and darker women and her and brown skinned women, like and everyone's gonna ride that train. It's important. That's progress, in my opinion. There's progress.
But do you think it's genuine progress, or do you think it's just a trend?
Some of it is genuine progress, but others
some of it is.
But not all of it is. Some people like stretch out the whole black vibe when you just say people who are colorist people. That's one time I'm saying.
It's more time these people, especially I'm gonna get onto you, especially black men who will be like, it's not all but some, they'll be like, yeah, black women this, black women that, black women this. You see their girlfriend.
Why?
But okay.
And I'm not speaking about everybody. I'm not saying you can't date a light-skinned person. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That trend of how black women.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Okay, this brings up
people screaming that black women hate black women or disrespect black women before these tweets even came out. So this was nothing new. It's just added to it. This is
guys, you're not forgetting that trend where every celebrity had a black person to start with. Then now they're big, famous. They got a light-skinned person. Shit like that. Celebrities are influencers as well. Why do you think people are like continuously like back in the day? Bare people had black women like setting it in their high school and their colleges, and then left the black women for someone else. It's a trend.
But let me bring out an interesting statistic here. Well, this statistic only applies to America, right? But I think it's an interesting statistic because while we do look at celebrities and public figures as some people look at them as role models, I don't think what they do is necessarily, of course, what they do has influence. That's why they're called influencers. But I don't think what they do is directly reflective of what the rest of society does. Hear me out. of course, we see, we see a lot of footballers, a lot of rappers will date outside their race, will marry, you know, somebody who's not necessarily black. But I read interesting statistic. I can't remember a professor at Harvard University conducted this. I can't remember Howard University, conducted this. I can't remember his name. I think it's Dr. Tolson or whatever. He said 85% of black men that earn over 100K end up marrying black women. And the reason why I find that statistic interesting is because despite what pop culture will tell you, and despite the narrative from the media that they'll say black men don't do this, I feel like overwhelmingly, especially in America, overwhelmingly the black men who are financially stable end up sticking with their mates. So when it comes to the whole black men don't date black women debate, even though there's validity to it in some degrees, I feel like sometimes, again, I was thinking
I was saying the other day, I was like, obviously it's dumb to say black men don't date black women, because obviously they do, but there is still some validity to the point that
Black men disrespect and like black women.
Yeah.
Nah, you know, and yeah, and Enki, what you're saying, no, it depends on the dynamic as well, innit? Because when you're grown, you're definitely thinking a lot differently. But when you're younger, you like you said, you're a lot more impressionable. You're gonna go with what everyone else is saying. But like when you're grown and you have money and you can make decisions like that, then you realize who you can be compatible with and who you can't be compatible with. Because what you could be a dark-skinned man and go with a white woman and she doesn't understand any of your references, doesn't know your music, anything like that. Like it's better to go with your own, and I guess that comes with time. It comes with time. When you're young, you're excited, bro. You're excited. You want to try this, you want to try that, you want to try this and that. But I guess that statistic just says that common sense comes back.
But this brings up a debate that happened on Twitter. This happened a few weeks ago. Can you be pro-black but date outside of your race?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of course you can.
Twitter says otherwise. I agree. Twitter says otherwise.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, what are you gonna say?
Oh no, I wasn't gonna say I agree.
Well, Twitter is stupid. Twitter is full of hypocrites and people who are bored of their lives because you are just sitting there on a computer screen, so doing shit with yourself.
I don't think anybody really has a man for themselves, because everybody they have one like idea about something, and then they want the whole of Twitter to run with it. And if you come against that idea, you have to be cancelled or you're a coon or something like that.
I agree with you, look, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate for this for this point. From what I've heard, again, I don't agree with this personally, but this is what, you know, I think I'm playing devil's advocate. So devil's advocate would say that how could you be pro-black here when being pro-black is about putting your community first and putting everything first, putting the uplifting the black people first? How can you do that with somebody who's not a part of your race right next to you? How are you doing that when you're going to build a family with somebody who might not have the same notion of pro-blackness with you?
Can't mix personal life with what you stand for and what you believe in. I feel like those are two separate things.
I don't believe. You know, I hate Dr. Umar Johnson. But Dr. Umar Johnson said that
we don't acknowledge him. Sorry.
No, I know. I hate. No, don't get me twisted. I do not like. TS knows I don't like Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't like it.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Twice a day. But you know, bare man on Twitter love to use him, so I'm gonna use him. Again, I'm speaking on behalf of Twitter, so I'm gonna use their idol. So Dr. Umar Johnson said that marriage is a political statement. He said your marriage is a political statement. You are making this.
When did marriage become a political statement?
This is the words of Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm just a messenger. If I'm not his messenger, God forbid. But
land.
Sorry, go ahead.
But listen, Dr. Umar Johnson, marriage is a political statement. His logic is that when you marry a black woman and you raise black kids, you're adding to the black community by raising black kids. The moment you start going outside of your race, you're divided the youth, because the youth's gonna have parts of white culture or Asian culture or whatever, and then parts of black culture, and they're not gonna be fully black. So you're not adding this to the community. If you're pro-black, you have to be pro-black in everything you do. You have to uplift your community from a financial perspective. You have to lift your community by bringing more people into the community. This is what Dr. Umar Johnson said. This is not the words of NK. Do not come, nobody on Twitter come to me tweet and said, now I said this on the podcast. No, this is Umar Johnson. You get me? Thank you.
Did you lot ever see that thing on I think it might have been ITV or BBC? There was this little kid that was like 7 or 8 years old, and I think he's mixed race, and he's got like big hair, big afro hair.
Yeah.
The school was telling him to cut his hair, but his mum, who's white, was defending him, standing up for him because he's black and because that's black people hair. Like, you don't need to be black to be pro-black. You don't need to have someone black to be pro-black. That just shows it.
Well, I think you...
That hair, I can't lie.
Look at her though. That was a white woman, and she understood the struggles of her child.
Damn, like, I can't lie. I personally feel like she left his hair like that because she couldn't do it.
Probably.
No,
but still, at least she's riding for him. So
that's what I'm saying.
Good on her, mate. Good on her. So
Yeah.
that's a prime example.
Why do we make pro-black too? I don't understand why.
That's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, obviously they're not gonna have the same like emotional connection to it because that's not their race. But they can still ride for us. They can still support our cause. They can still know when that's right. They can still like say that's racist. We called that out. Whatever. Like,
what about the guy from Love Is Blind?
They see right from wrong.
There's an interracial couple from Love Is Blind who did that as well. There was a video like on Twitter where he was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I bring this whole thing up is because obviously there was an alleged rumor. I don't know if it's true or not that Dave was dating somebody who wasn't black.
Oh no, that was my close friend.
No, that was bad. No. And the thing is, yeah, people started to invalidate all his music. People saying, "Oh, well, Dave's music doesn't count because he's dating a white girl, so he can't talk about oppression and all this." I'm thinking, what's that got to do with anything?
They'll call him McQueen and all that stuff because he's dating a white girl. And the thing is, they said allegedly. They didn't even say he is gay.
He came out and said he's single. That's not even his girl. So
that's his friend from school.
No, but this whole thing of
there's more to it than that. So you're saying, like, for example, Dr. Umar Johnson, he's gonna judge a man because of his wife, and that's it.
Yeah, listen to quote Dr. Umar Johnson. Quote him, this is a direct quote. You are of no use to me with that white woman by your side. He said that to all black men. You are of no use to me with that white woman by your side.
I've got mixed.
Who's he dating?
Somebody hurt him.
I swear his baby mama's white.
No, he's not. She's not.
Somebody hurt him.
That was fake.
Some white women hurt him.
No. Dr. Umar Johnson hates white people. Like he's not pro-black. He's anti-white.
So I can't hate someone. Not gonna hate some really strong word.
He's anti-white. Like he hates white people.
Yeah.
How do you have hatred in your heart? Like
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's so bad.
No,
you have a deep problem.
Hate.
Like for example, if a white person was to join his life, he would tell them to get off my life.
Yeah.
No,
this is not for you.
That's actually for.
This is not for me. Like he does not.
How you make progress. That's not how you make progress because what he gets in his car, drives down. He's going to see white people. He's gonna go into stores with white people. He's gonna go into places with white people. You have to work together. What he's doing,
not every white person is racist.
That's true.
So
he doesn't believe that.
No, not every white person is racist. They're not.
No.
Obviously, they all have white privilege, but doesn't mean they're all racist.
Look at Jack Fowler as well. Like he might look white, but his dad is mixed race, meaning his grandparents are black. No, man. So what if Jack Fowler was to join his live and tell him to cut just because he looks white now?
Yeah,
his sisters are black.
Yeah, listen, I've done a lot. I don't know why this turned to Dr. Umar, but I've done a lot of. I've been watching Dr. Umar. Well, I've been aware of Dr. Umar for years now, and I find it funny where the fact that Twitter has embraced the man so much, especially considering that the man is extremely homophobic, but you know, niggas haven't done their research about that. So I find it hilarious that, no, oh my god, he's a hotep. He's the definition of a hotep.
Mm.
A what?
He's a hotep.
Hotep.
Oh, you haven't heard the? You haven't heard the? Okay, a hotep. Wait, Ashley, I think you know what a hotep is, right?
I only know it because of Dear White People, but yeah.
Yeah, same. Basically, okay. Let me go.
He was so pain too. I was so upset.
Hold on, but you lot continue. I'm gonna find the definition of a hotep. Oh, this is hilarious.
Guys, no video.
Dear White People is on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
That show is wild.
It's really good though.
I love it. I don't like the movie though.
The show or a film?
Is it?
So
It
was a movie, and then they made it into a series. And the series on Netflix is really good.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the movie because I just felt like
the movie was,
this is the definition of a hotep. Someone who's gotten a little carried away in their support of Afrocentrism and has taken on board a variety of conspiracy theories and pseudo what is that word? Anyway, has taken on board a variety of conspiracy theories, making a big fuss about being seen as racism and so on and so forth. So basically, a hotep is somebody that basically takes black pride to the nth level and just takes the piss. Basically, hoteps are people that will go up to a girl like Ashley and be like, "My sister, my black queen, you."
Especially my hair like this.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, my black queen, my queen,
girl, Nubian, you from the
my Nubian black queen. You need a strong."
Let me just understand. Hotep is that black people or is that
hoteps are black people? A hotep is specifically a black person. A hotep, for example, I'm sure you've seen the memes, right? Of the black people wearing the hat. Yeah. Those are hoteps. Oh, that's hotep. Those are hoteps. Man,
wait,
them who speak
like this
to be woke.
Yeah, the ones, the means that those are hoteps. People that are woke, conscious, and aware. Yeah. If you hear a brother start talking about Egyptian roots,
black people have to stand up
hotep.
And take over. All of that.
So, is this meant to be a negative thing though? Being a hotep.
Hotep is definitely negative.
Yeah.
Because what you're overdoing it, or
you're overdoing it. Hotep's overdoing it.
You are definitely
overdoing it. Because hoteps will, because the thing about what differentiates a hotep from like some of these pro-black here, hoteps are deep in anti-whiteness. They are, a lot of them align themselves with a lot of homophobic remarks. A lot of them align themselves with misogyny as well. Just because they say black queen, they'll be like, my black queen needs to be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You get me? So that's what a hotep is.
The black queen.
That's what a hotep. Yeah, no, trust me. Trust me. Anyways, but I feel like as a society today, I feel like we have embraced blackness a lot more now. Even if it's a trend right now, I think this is a good trend because it's instilling into the youth. Right? Because what Nella said in her video was very interesting. She said her 14-year-old sister or cousin wouldn't say the things she said back when she was 13 or 14, and I feel like that's because we as a community have instilled within ourselves and subsequently the youth that being black is beautiful.
100%.
And even if that is a trend, that is, I don't care if it's a trend. It's a good trend to instill. It's a very good trend to instill.
I feel like it's a trend to a certain degree, but I feel like I don't know if it's going to go anywhere anytime soon because I feel like if they try to, whoever, like beauty standards, all of that stuff, if they try to downplay us and be like, no, black people isn't now, we'd be like, excuse me. Yes,
no, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I
don't think we're taking, because more time back then, I feel like because we were younger, we'd more like take rubbish from people, and like if other people cutting out black people, we'd be like, yeah, dark skinned people, yeah. Now everyone's like, no, that's not gonna.
I feel like a lot more people
now than it is back then.
But a lot of young people now are educated. So people like our 14 to like 60-year-olds, they will never do the things that we might have said back in the day because the thing that we see now from social media to what we see on TV is all just about empowering each other and what's wrong and what's right.
I was gonna say, is it bad that it's a trend?
No,
Mm,
because trends shift culture.
Oh, I wanted to ask,
When people start cultural appropriating.
what did you think about that? What's her name? The Catch Me Outside girl saying he wants to be black. He wants to be black.
I don't even care about that
no,
one.
She's
That
done.
little girl. Oh my
Do you
god.
know what it is? Do you know what it is?
From
She needs to
day
go
one.
somewhere.
She
What?
is.
People who rate her are just
The
And
thing
it's-
about bad Barbie, yeah, is that she's ignorant as hell. And the thing is, she's been ignorant from day one, but she was not funny. Like from day one, she was not funny. It was not
Okay,
funny
no.
to laugh at this girl. This girl is this girl is problematic in the sense that from the day we saw her, she was beefing her mum and Dr. Phil. Like
it gives you an idea of the
Yeah,
kind of
like
person.
I was watching.
Yeah.
Do you know? I was watching some YouTube show called Neva, and she was on there,
Yeah.
and they were trying to style her, and
She was
like
rude, isn't it?
she was so rude to them, and I was like, people are just letting it slide because that's her brand. She's disrespectful. She doesn't care. She says what she wants. I'm like, no,
That's not a
she's
good
just
thing.
rude.
but
There's
I
no
don't
respect,
like
there's
people.
no manners. She's just rude.
I don't like when people say she's trying to be black. She's not trying to be black. She's being ratchet. Ratchet is not associated with blackness. Ratchet is ratchet. You can be white and ratchet. I don't like the fact that she is ghetto, and that's
Like
ghetto.
it's the way that she's made her lips bigger. She's made her hair curly. She's made her skin a bit darker. She's more.
No, I'm
tan.
talking about her attitude. I'm
And
talking
then
about
she
her
wants to say
attitude.
she wants to be black. You sis, you do. You.
Yeah,
You
but
do.
like her what she's wearing reflects her attitude as well, innit? That's
That tank
it all
top.
comes in one
It's more
package.
time.
Like,
all
look,
of them black. All of them.
Oh no, all of them, yeah. What all of them are trying. What I don't like when people do is when they say attribute her attitude is to she's trying to be black, because blackness is not ratchet. Like black, a lot of people will use the word ghetto as a synonym for black. No, ghetto is ghetto. You can be white trailer trash ghetto. You can be ratchet ghetto. You could be all. Do you know what I mean?
All them
So,
Southerners in America are ratchet and they're white. So,
do you know what I'm saying? You can have even I was watching Loving hip hop, and then there was one. What's that girl's name? One Asian girl. She oh my god.
Dragon.
Lovely.
Lovely.
That's it. A lot of people say you trying to be black. No, that is
No,
she's
she's
ghetto.
ghetto.
She's ghetto.
She's just
Like,
ratchet.
stop.
Ghetto.
Like, okay, yes, I know why people attribute that behavior to black people, because black people are oftentimes grow up in poor and impoverished environments. They grow up in a ghetto and they end up adopting that attitude. But that attitude is reflective of the ghetto, not of black people. Because if you take black people out of the ghetto and put them in proper environments, guess what? They're not behaving like that. So it's an environmental thing, not a race thing. So I don't want to hear nobody say bad Barbie's trying to be black. No, she's ghetto. Cancel. Well, no, I don't believe in canceling. Get rid of her. Don't retweet her. Don't nothing. Because the more you retweet her, you're providing her with more fame. Ignore
Her
her.
music is mediocre at best.
Ignore her.
No, look at how
Her
people
ghostwriter.
last year people asked to cancel out Nella, but keep on this dumb bitch. I'm sorry, but I don't know if it's
Well, that's
her
American
act.
still.
No, but still, either way. But there's some bitches that rate her as well. Like when we talk about her, when we give her clout, I can't lie. Like I'm over her. I don't care about her.
That's what people do on Twitter. When they don't like something, they always quote tweet it, and that's giving them more attention.
I've never understood that. Ignore it.
Just ignore that. I lie. It's just
That's
ignore
like
it.
even with the Love Island things, where somebody made
Or
jokes one day.
did you see that girl? What's her name? Oh, there was this white girl, and she was like saying that how black girls. Oh, what was she saying? Oh, her name's Yes Jules. She was saying stuff
I know that one.
Whatever. I don't remember what she said, but she was like, "Black girls want to be me." Da, da, da. I was just like,
Hold up.
She
Wait a minute.
it's out there. Yeah, she did like a little freestyle.
I know about Yes Jules.
Freestyle was trash, but she did like a rap freestyle and was like, "Black girls hate me because they want to be me. Black men love me." I was just like, this is a lot.
Ew, this one.
But do you think that black? But do you feel like
And she has a big
okay?
bum. That's it.
Do you feel like black men that date girls like this are part of the problem?
Yes.
Yes. They do pattern them. I don't think they pattern them.
Condoning the behavior.
100%.
Like that, there was one stupid TikTok where some black guy was in bed with his white girlfriend. He just allowed it.
Well, have you seen those racist TikToks that everyone's doing
Oh!
now?
Even them Asian people are doing it as well, and I'm just thinking.
I saw one that really irritated me. He goes outside. There's a cotton thing. He goes, "It isn't that hard," and picks off the cotton. I was like,
I don't even. But
when they get pulled out for it, they start crying like, "Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It was just a joke."
You see the one that did it with her dad, the Asian girl.
Get out, man. I open it and I close it because
This shows you.
What is right and wrong.
There's such a hatred for black people. The hatred for black people runs deep.
My thing is, as
mind our business, and they just.
My thing is, of course, like there are black people in our community that are quote unquote problematic, and there are black people in our community that will do things that derail our community. But more time when we're focusing on attacking each other, I'm just thinking that look out there, look what them lot are doing to us. We're too busy having civil wars in between us. Like united we stand, divided we fall, fam. Like just like allow it.
Right now with them
allow it. Like stop. This a lot of this stuff is petty. Don't get me wrong. There are people who've tweeted like madnesses, and those tweets.
Them rape jokes are nothing to be played with.
They're nothing to be played with. But I feel like, fam, if somebody was I'm not holding somebody who's 24 accountable for tweets they made at 13. I'm not. I don't have time for that. Listen,
just why are you acting like you popped out? I said this tweet. I was like, why are you acting like you popped out the womb knowing everything? As growing over time, you've changed and your worldview has gotten better. So why are you acting like, yeah, I knew everything when I was? They didn't.
Nah. But I feel, yeah, man. I just feel like this is why I don't mess with cancel culture, because you have people pointing the finger at people when them themselves know that they have baggage. Them themselves know that their past isn't clean. Somebody told me, whenever you point the finger at someone else, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. You have to stop. This is why I don't participate in this stuff, because I know myself. I will say it on here. I'm not perfect, nor do I aspire to be perfect. I have my past, and I know, and I'm working on being better. I'm not gonna sit here on Twitter and pretend that I'm Mr. Perfect. You lot should be. Who am I to cancel who?
Literally, Get made a tweet and he said, "No cancelling, please. We all have issues that are extremely deep-rooted. Some are just easier to disguise than others. We must learn. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. One must be educated, not crucified."
Thank you. On that bombshell.
Not gonna lie, a lot of these people are sheep. That's what this whole situation has shown me with Black Twitter. A lot of people are just sheep and just following the bait people are calling out everyone else because they don't have minds of their own. And then half of the time they'll be saying next minute, "Oh no, we need to be checking up on people's mental health."
Mental health.
You're
shouting out that Aaliyah's baby should have died. I was like, no, you lot need to stop.
What I clocked is that a lot of people came out of nowhere just cussing Nella Rose's appearance.
Nella's mom.
When you look like a fridge and all that stuff. I'm thinking, does that even make sense?
But this is why I always say Twitter is not the platform to have these conversations on. It's not. People don't have common sense.
They'll never say this.
No, Twitter, when it comes to conversations, that require nuance, when it comes to conversations that require a bit of foresight and thought, Twitter is not the place for that. I'm all for Twitter making jokes and bantering, and this TV show's lit. I'm not having deep conversations on Twitter and conversations that require thought, because half of these are idiots. And I'm not even saying this to be patronizing. I'm saying, like, we've seen today that people are so quick to attack other people. Like, everyone's immediate reaction is attack, instead of, wait, let me try understand, let me try think, let me see things from a different perspectives. It's dumb. Like, it's dumb. Like, we like Shoulder said before, we do it to ourselves. Do it to ourselves.
Black people do it to themselves.
Do it to ourselves. Man.
No, but I think there is final thoughts. I think there is good. There's good in everything, regardless. Because look, what if those tweets didn't come out, this dialogue wouldn't have started in it. So I'm glad this dialogue has started now, and people can start talking about it on Twitter.
But why did it take? My issue is, why did it take all of this bullshit for the dialogue to start? Why couldn't the dialogue start? Here's the thing. A lot of my issue is, a lot of things happen in reaction to other things. Why can't the dialogue just start? Because let's have a conversation about it. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes people actually need to see evidence for them to understand what you're saying. Because more time when black women were saying how we get abuse from black men as well, everyone's like, no, you're Chinese. Now you see.
No, let's not get twisted. It's outrageous. The things that we've seen outrageous, like the rape jokes and getting and
all of them are tweeting like nothing happened. All of them guys are tweeting like nothing happened. There's no one is blocking them. No one is stopping their bag or anything. They're just living their life. No one really called them out properly.
No, but the thing is, we shouldn't even strive to block all of them. Just leave them do what they do.
I'm sorry, but some of these apologies are dead too.
Oh my days.
Some of these little write in your notes, post it on Twitter.
Wait, I swear somebody did one.
Everyone's done one. Paige Cakey did one. Zizi's one. Zizi's one was funny. She didn't apologize.
I don't really care.
Apologize.
What did she say?
She just said, I just repeated the jokes that African people told me about their parents, so it's not that deep.
You see, he ended up,
some of them were fake.
No, apparently they were real, but he deleted them with some app called Erase thing. Because I thought they were fake when he posted all his old tweets, but then he ended up
because he put some things in that they were fake tweets.
Wait, who?
Tion Wayne.
Did you see the spelling? Did you see the spelling in them tweets?
Relax, Mr. Grammar Police, man. Relax, man. I don't give up.
How old were you?
They don't know English.
No, but the thing is, we're young people, man. Our spelling's not supposed to be amazing at that time.
No,
know how to spell a certain, just a basic word.
It's T. T loves doing Grammar Police, fam.
It's very reflective of the era.
To see if he could write.
No,
when people say am instead of I'm just like, do you know what? I'm done.
No, what I'm saying is it's just very reflective of the time, innit? That's just what it is. I used to do it myself too. But
my moral of the moral of the story for me, listen, a lot of man them are throwing stones on Twitter when they live in glass houses. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And if you don't understand that, well, go read a book. Yeah.
Googles, do your Googles.
Googles, you get me? Well, I think this topic has been great. Anyone got anything more to say? I'm going to wrap it up.
I got one thing to say. I don't think the dialogue has actually been had. I feel like the people that were bringing up these tweets just literally clicked off, like literally just cancelled everything. And then the only people that are having the dialogue are the people who actually have some remorse for the people who are getting like cancelled now. Because everyone that's bringing old tweets, they just don't want to hear it. They just want to cancel everyone. So I don't think the dialogue
been started though.
Huh?
The dialogue's been started, which is
exactly. But the people that brought it up, I want them to listen properly. But they're just saying no, everybody's cancelled. They're cancelled, and then it just don't make sense to me. How are we supposed to move forward if all we're gonna do is just cancel everyone?
Yeah.
Like, what's the end goal? What's the end goal of cancelling? We're waiting to take it. Like
they've apologized. They've learned from their mistakes. What do you want them dead now or something?
So I'm saying, what do you want them to do now?
Like, don't make sense to me.
No, they want their channels to be taken down and fade into obscurity. That's what people want.
Like Young's Teflon said on Twitter, God forgives, Twitter doesn't. It's mad.
What about Young Philly? Young Philly hasn't said anything about this.
He did. He apologized back in like 2014. He apologized for his tweet.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Young Philly apologized early, and that's why I even respect it more, because he apologized when nobody told him to.
Yeah.
Nobody told him to. We did 2014. That was still BlackBerry era. Do you think, man? That's
going against the grain. That's going against the grain, and I rate that.
So Young Philly deserves no slander. My guy, my YouTube king.
Oh man.
No, the one that annoyed me is the Dave one. I don't know why people are bringing up that tweet, and the people can't read because he said girls used to call me Blick. And then one girl that quoted it, and then I tweeted it, and I was like, can you read? She's like, oh, sorry, I misread it. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Legit.
Reaching.
No,
Remember, I said, bro, agendas, bro. People come with agendas. That's what it is.
They see what they want to see.
Agenda over everything, fam. For too long.
Sure,
You get me?
Yeah,
No
no.
comment?
anything to
Now,
say?
final comments, right? Final comments on this
Girls, this
episode.
should give you an inclination to go for white men now.
Wait, did you say inflation? What did you say?
I mean, you should give girls a reason to go for white men now, innit? Because clearly black men hate black women.
Impossible. They're
No,
not
yeah,
this dark
I've said
skin,
this
man.
before. I'm not
I
opposed to
don't
dating
hate black
white men.
women.
I'm not.
No, huh?
Listen.
I
Black
said I'm
women
not.
are the best.
We are.
Hey,
Thank you.
100. Color's not important. I can't lie. Color's not important. No, man.
It's not. Listen, I like black women of all shades. Get me? We don't discriminate out here. All shades of black women, fam.
That's my milk.
No discrimination.
Hey, that's gag. Hey, this should be the thumbnail. Gag. That's lit, bro. That's lit. All shades, bro.
All shades.
Is that what we're doing? We're doing a. No, just don't show the palm. You show
No, we
the
see.
color, bro. Show
No, but
this.
he's not on purpose. He's doing it on
Have you seen our
purpose, yeah?
wristbands?
That's why he likes Kylie
Yeah,
Jenner.
No,
doing
because that's the lightest part of you. You know.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
oh.
the
Put it up
gun
proud.
No, it's me.
Yes, put it up proud. Put it up proud.
I don't like Kylie Jenner.
Proud. Put it up, Jason. Put it up.
Proud.
Proud. Come on, gang thing, gang
All
thing,
shades, baby. All shades.
gang thing.
If my ring light wasn't on, you'll see my true color.
And I think on that bombshell, I think this is the nice place to end it. This has been the rare.
Wait. Shona
Okay,
has something-
Shona, go on, Shona.
Is this is that what she said did not affect me whatsoever. The reason why is because she's talking about her area. Wherever her surrounding was, I think she was aiming at. She did not say this girl, she did not say that girl. She's talking about her area that she was surrounding.
Girls in school as well.
People should be offended whoever is around her. Everyone else, I can't lie. It's life at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? Shit happens. Like you get cussed out. It's not your name, why is it affecting you so much? And plus look at her now, she's now black pro-black. And lastly, what I like to say is that people need to learn to just drink their water and shut up, because most times you got bad skin and such. Drink up, because there's more things to life than to be gossiping about other people. I can't lie, like we're in the pandemic and you don't want to be tearing down people. You better.
It's a pandemic.
It's a pandemic.
It's a pandemic. Yep. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please comment in the section below. Tell us your thoughts and opinions on whatever we discussed today. You get me? This has been the Rare Podcast. We are signing out. Deuces. Have a nice day. Peace.
Bye.